The time is 7:38 p.m. Good evening. The news headline. Why Nigerians are skeptical about Buhari's order for states to donate land for NAUDA projects. The news in full. The Secretary General of NAUDA, Agricultural Land Development Authority, Prince Paul Ikone, the son of Eze Ikone, the Enyi of Aba, has disclosed to the newsmen after meeting with President Buhari in the State House Abuja that the president wants all the state governments to donate land in each of the 109 senatorial districts in Nigeria to the NAUDA agricultural creation. It is a welcome development, but since the issue of herdsmen activities, the open grazing deadline, President Buhari ranching proposal, and so on, Nigerians are more skeptical about any project with the federal government that involves the use of land. Agriculture is the bedmark of economic development, but since this administration, the activities of the herdsmen have hampered the genuineness of the federal government's promise of making Nigeria the basket food of Africa and self-sufficient. The herdsmen activities have destroyed, killed, raped, and maimed thousands, making many homeless and widows. Any attempt to engage the state government in land projects in the south, especially in this critical drama time of open grazing ban, ranching proposal, and so on, would be met with mixed feelings from both the southern states and masses in general. The agricultural development would help to create wealth, jobs for an unemployed Nigerian youth, etc. But the herdsmen stigma may haunt the administration for a longer time until the issue of herdsmen is put to rest, because people were busy thinking about whether it was a new plot by the federal government to gain access to the states to acquire lands for ranching proposals, since they believe that should the states donate the land for the NAUDA project, it may be turned into a ranching activity for the herdsmen. The federal government may have lost people's trust on the issue of herdsmen, where it has become obvious that the federal government doesn't seem to believe that herdsmen are destructive, but was busy comparing their activities with the spare parts dealers in the north. Paul Ikone has revealed that Kogi State and Ogun State have already given out over 100 hectares of land for the project, while NAUDA was in Abia to set up a fish village to engage women in fish production. NAUDA is a federal government agricultural development organization dealing with setting up agricultural farms across the federation. And as a result of this, the governor of Borno State, Professor Babangana Zulum, has commended the National Agricultural Land Development Authority, NAUDA, on the potential of its project to create jobs for citizens of the states who lost their sources of livelihood to the current insurgency bedevailing the states. He further assured that sustainability plan had already been put in place to ensure that projects were secured from vandals. This is even as the Executive Secretary and Chief Executive Officer of NAUDA, Prince Paul Ikone, also assured that the current NAUDA initiative across the country would also help to drastically reduce the nation's annual food import bill, address unemployment, as well as increase the contribution of agriculture to gross domestic product (GDP). Speaking during an inspection tour of the proposed NAUDA integrated farm estates under construction in Jere local government area of the state, Zulum, alongside NAUDA CEO Ikone, said the people of this area have completely lost their means of livelihood, and having these projects in Borno State would ensure that many of our youth would be employed. He expressed his heartfelt gratitude to the NAUDA executives for their commitment to turn around the fortunes of the state. And from the bottom of my heart, and on behalf of the people of Borno State, we remain eternally indebted to the NAUDA Executive Secretary for the good jobs that he has been doing, the governor added. He said, "This again is another thing I want to see happen in Nigeria. The executive secretary is not sitting down in his office, but going around to ensure that what they are doing is right, and I encourage him to continue in this spirit." The governor also expressed satisfaction over the quality of job being executed at the construction site for both the farm estates and the fish farms. The time is 7:45, and the news analysis is quite simple. That as regards the Fulani herdsmen issue and the farmers' opera that has been going on in the land, there is another whereby the ranching method was actually an approximate solution to stop the riots and the topsy-turvy going on in the country. And in order to resolve this, the federal government of Nigeria have actually come up with an initiative rather known as NAUDA project. And the NAUDA actually means Nigerian Agricultural Land Development Authority, where the Secretary General of the NAUDA, who is Prince Paul Ikone, after the meeting with President Buhari in the State House, Abuja, they told all the state governments to donate land in each of the 109 senatorial districts in Nigeria for NAUDA agricultural creation. And although this is a welcome development, but since the herdsmen activities, the open grazing deadline by the 17 southern governors, where they said they do not want cattle moving on foot again, that it should only be a place where the cows should be kept and fed until they arrive for selling or being used. So, and the federal government have actually been skeptical about addressing this issue openly, since the people are experiencing deaths, killings, and destroying of people's properties and farms, which has led many homeless and a whole lot of people widows. And any attempt to engage the state government in land projects again in the south might actually lead to another critical drama time of open grazing ban, because a whole lot of people are scared that this might actually be another thing that will give the Fulani herdsmen a leverage to further misbehave. Although agriculture is the bedmark of economic development, but because of these attitudes of these Fulani herdsmen that has been left unaddressed by the Buhari administration, the people are having a mixed feeling if to consider this or not. However, some states like Ogun State and also Borno State have actually subscribed into this. Even Kogi State have actually subscribed into this initiative and given the NAUDA over 100 hectares of land for the project. And the Borno president actually appreciates this, saying that he even appreciates the executive secretary for not just sitting there in his office, but trying to make sure that this project becomes well done and fulfills its just cause of creation. The time is 7:48 p.m. Good evening. Thanks for listening.